totally gonna win at this stock market. Welcome everyone. My name is Dr. Stock, and this video is for entertainment purposes only. Today, I got my magic 8-ball along, and I'm going to use it today to talk about just a couple of stocks. I got Lucid, XPEV, NIO, and this is just a rundown of EVs with some recent news that I think is going to be really good for us moving forward, and it makes me hopeful as a long-term investor in each of these companies, and I'm going to share those reasons with you. And also I'm going to ask the magic 8-ball here to help me make some stock predictions for them, and we'll see how that turns out. And well, are we gonna rock? You may rely on it. All right, so stick around and let's get ready to rock. Alright, welcome back. For those of you who are interested, down in the description, if you take a look down there, you can check out my Patreon. If you go over to my Patreon, you can join my awesome community of investors. It's a small group, but it's an expanding group, and everybody over there is really supportive, passionate, enthusiastic about all things investing, just a quality group of people. So if you find yourself in that same boat and are also looking for a place to check out for that, you can see my buy and sell alerts, my portfolios that are over there, my weekly newsletter, and watch list of stocks. I recommend checking it out. That link is down in the description. Also, down in the description, you can find the sign up links for Moomoo and Webull. If by using those referral links, you get free stocks from that sign up in your deposit. I get free stocks for the referral. So thank you for that form of support that you show. There's a little bit more. You can also hit the like button, like that, and then there's the notification bell, ding ding, there we go, and then subscribe button you can also press. Now I guess if I'm gonna get stuck on words, I'm just gonna run with it, and whether it's a stutter or a stammer, what the heck, let's just go with it. So that's enough for me for right now. Let's move right on to the stocks. Alright, so the first bit of news that I have for you here, Lucid Motors, just a few hours ago, you can see 1:31 p.m., that's Eastern Time on September the 10th. So as of the recording this video, it's like 3.5 hours ago, because it's almost about 5 o'clock here. You can see that they go global with its upcoming Lucid studio at, oh man, how am I going to say this? Audiensplatz in Munich, Germany. So listen, if you're from Germany, I'm of German descent, but holy cow, I don't speak it at all. Guten Tag. That's about as close as I get. Good day to all of you. And this I think is pretty cool because Germany is actually a pretty big market where people are excited about automobiles in general, and the EV space in automotives. NIO is also trying to crack their way in there, so that's also good for us. Like that, Lucid is actually trying to make that expansion happen. So them moving over into Germany, so that should help out with some of the demand. And I know it's pre-production, so we really have to see what the ramp up is like for production. How well will they be able to meet the orders that they have for the Lucid vehicles that they put out there, the Lucid Air and the Lucid Air Dream Edition, and how much demand is there going to be for it, not in the United States, but also now it looks like maybe possibly Germany too, coming up sometime 2022, 2023. They didn't really give us a lot to go on. Yeah, we have the studio, but when exactly do they get to sell? So that's something that we need to look into, but I think this is great news so far for Lucid Motors. Should we look at the charts? Concentrate and ask again. I'm not going to waste my time, 8-ball. I'm just going to go over to Webull over here. Ooh, that's NIO. Gosh, we'll look at the NIO chart soon. Right now, I want to look at the Lucid chart. There we are. Come on, Webull, you can do this. Look at that. Kind of nice, kind of gross chart. The nice thing that I like is that it's still currently under $20 per share. It just recently got two analyst estimates of $25 and $28. So midway in between that, I believe, is $26.50, which is a considerable upside from where we're at right now. And for me, somebody who is long on Lucid Motors, and I really think that they're going to be an incredible company over time, and I think these prices are cheap. That's my own personal opinion, and yeah, it kind of puts it at a high valuation right now, and people are like, does it really have that sort of potential? And, I think it does. Fundamentally speaking, I think that there's going to be demand. I think they're going to grow over time, and right now they're putting out that luxury, that high-end to really make a name for themselves, and if they build that hunger, they put out those lower cost but still luxury vehicles, slightly lower tiers, get into a little bit more homes and stuff like that. that I think they're doing the right thing, and I think as long as they can navigate the chip shortage well, and as long as they can penetrate into the EV market, I think we have really good things coming up for Lucid. And I'm going to keep a hold of my position, and I'm going to keep growing my position, adding to my position over time. I have dollar cost average since this most recent time that it dropped down below $20 per share. As a matter of fact, I think I was back in, my last position was around $18 per share, so that was incredible. All right, we got to move on from there, so let's go back over here and we'll check this out. So from Business Wire, so we have a little bit of a PR post right here talking about XPEV coming out with their smart electric vehicle, the XPEV P5 Smart Family Sedan. On the 15th of September, it looks like that's when they're going to start their production, and they actually start deliveries in right there. Start delivery in October, and I believe it's mid-October. I'm not exactly sure where I read that, so fact check that one. I'm not going to swear to it by any means, but the thing that I care about, maybe you already saw the highlight. Look at these price ranges. RMB 160,000 to 230,000. What does that even mean? This is huge. When you look at it, being priced at 160,000 RMB puts it at under 25,000. That's huge, because that is like something that EV companies have been after for a long time, is putting a price under 25,000 to really get it down to they'd be cost competitive, or cost comparative to the ICE vehicles that we have. So this is incredible. And then the model goes up to 230,000 RMB. So 230,000 is about like between 35 and 36,000 US dollars. So this car, I actually took a couple. I took a read over about it. This came back from April, and I told you I'm going to have trouble talking, but I'm going to push through it anyway. We will get it. So this is all the way back from April the 20th, and it's the XPEV P5, and they talk about the pre-orders that they have for it. At the time, in April, I think there was something like 10,000 pre-orders, and it has outdone the pre-orders for the P7 that they had, which is their flagship model. So this one, it's such a nice little car. And it is LiDAR equipped, and you can also get it for under 25,000. Like, there's an American market for this one. I mean, yeah, there's a huge Chinese market. I think this thing's going to do extremely well. I think it's going to be like very, very popular, that it's equipped with such amount of technology. I mean, it's, sorry to say this car, but it's sexy. So, like, I would totally drive that. Just at the look of this thing, reading the different specs about it and getting all nerdy about it, why isn't this available in the United States? So I think this is going to be very good news for XPEV moving forward from here, and I look forward to looking at the delivery news that we have, and also the demand that we have for the P5 moving forward from here. So I think this is really good news for XPEV. So let's go over to XPEV's chart. Are we going to see something good? Ask again later. I will. Not right now, because I don't want to keep on taking your time. I do want to let you get on to some other things. There we go. Check out, I adjusted these lines a little bit in light of these newest prices that we have, but you can still see this bottom line and this top line moving across this symmetric wedge pattern that we have for XPEV. I swear, this thing's gotta break soon. I mean, sooner than later. I hope that it doesn't fail if we get the wrong market bias and the overall markets end up pushing this down to the downside. We could get a bit of a price drop, which for me would be an opportunity to dollar cost average. I do have a swing position placed on this, because I do think that it's going to push to the upside, that this is going to be a bullish sign for us because of this bull run that we had before. I think we just need the right news to handle it. So we'll take a look. We'll see if that happens. As a matter of fact, I just want to take a quick peek that we have down here in the after hours of the market. And the market, for the U.S. markets anyway, yeah, they took it down. Look at that. We have a little drop in the pre-market down to 37.71. Where does that put us on the daily chart? It does put us outside of our line. There we go. And we'll zoom in a lot. So 37.71. Right about there-ish. 37.75. So we're not outside in a very critical way. Plus, it's low volume. Not the standard trading hours, it is the after hours. So by the time we open on let me see, today's Friday, happy Friday, so that by the time we open the market up on Monday, you know, we could be back in this range, or possibly we could see it fall even more. So we'll have to watch and see how that plays out. I think that we're going to have some very good news. So even if we drop down in the short term, I'll use that opportunity to dollar cost average, maybe even increase my swing trade position, which I was going to cut my losses at 36. I think I was in around $40 per share, so I'm in a little bit in the red on that one. But so far, we haven't hit that stop price, and that means that my, let me see, my sell price to capitalize on it, should it go up that high, is $48, which would take us up to pretty much this peak that we have over here, even though if we do get a significant break on volume, or several days breaking up above the top line, that could be also confirmation that we're breaking out of this pattern to the upside, so in a bullish way. So that's my thoughts on XPEV, and seeing us up higher than where we currently are by the end of 2021. I think when we get those September delivery news in October, and then October delivery news in November, I think we're going to start smiling over XPEV's performance. All right, so over to NIO. There we go. So NIO debuts its ET7 in Europe, plans to launch in Germany in 2022. This is from Benzinga, so I like it because they seem to stay on top of the news, even if it is sometimes a secondary source. It usually gives us enough of the details for these videos that we can take that summary and go with it, and then if we need to read deeper, we go to the primary sources that they get it from. So just so you know that's there for us. So anyway, NIO, where are we at here? The company also confirmed that ET7 will likely be its first model to be launched in Germany in 2022, and they're looking down here, you can see it, by the end of 2022 that ET7 could be available. So we'll have to watch the build out in 2022 in Germany, and Germany's putting up some big numbers. Even this year, the numbers for growth for the EVs and the plug-in EVs and the plug-in hybrids that they have, it's been great for Germany so far, and Germany tends to be a key market. So we have Lucid, who wants to show up in Germany. Now we have NIO, who wants to show up in Germany. I think that winning in Germany, especially when you're going up against the likes like Volkswagen and BMW, Audi is also over there. Like, there's just some big names. So being able to compete against names like that, I think would be, you know, absolutely incredible. It would go a long way for brand recognition, and also to really show market dominance by the companies who are actually able to really take hold in Germany. Oh, here we go. So down in the article a little bit farther, it says NIO's market is now confined to China, gaining foothold in Germany, particularly key for the company as it would be up against global legacy automakers such as, oh man, all right, am I going to say this correctly? You may rely on it. Bayerisch Motoren Werken Atkindelschaft. I don't know. Listen, I butchered that so badly. Languages are not my strong point. I speak a lot of Spanish. I speak a lot of English, and that's about the extent of it. Everything after that falls off immensely. So if you can point me in a way to figure out how to, maybe I'll use Google Translate to see if it can tell me how to say it. I might just have to do that just so that I feel a little bit more informed. So, yes, they're up against legacy automakers, and like I said, it will be key for the company. They also mention it here, so that's nice to also have that confirmation that one Benzinga authors see that I also see in this. So, NIO. Let's go ahead and look at NIO's chart. Are we going to like what we see? Cannot predict now. All right, well, maybe not. Let's find out. There we go. All right, so NIO, if we zoom out a lot more, we have this low point back here of about $30 per share, and then moving up from there, 36. If 36 support holds, we're in really good shape. If 36's support doesn't hold, then we're down to about $33 or $34 per share, and after that, down to $30 per share. But overall, I think that NIO is going to do really well. They also have their, I think it's their ES8 SUV that's going to be debuting in Norway before their ET7 launches in Germany, so that's something to watch for. Their delivery news has not been strong, and this is causing people to be some doubters so far for NIO, and causing a little bit of FUD going on and causing a lot of downward pressure. NIO, I think it's only a matter of time before they're up in the 40s. So now we have to get back to the low 40s, and I don't think that'll take long. And then after that, we have to get up into the mid 40s. And let me see, going up here is where we have a lot of resistance. So about $45 per share. Really, those deliveries, as we watch the deliveries play out, that's what's going to be one of those main drivers that we've had, or that we have I talked about three main things that we want to keep in mind for NIO. For NIO, one is that they have a record number of orders for August going into September. Another thing to keep in mind for them is that if they meet their goal of 22,500 vehicles, they have a record-setting month in September for most vehicles ever delivered. And then the other thing to keep in mind is that also makes a record-setting quarter for most vehicles delivered for NIO. So they are still growing even if they are impacted by the chip shortage and supply shortages. Really, watching that demand for NIO is the thing that kind of, as long as that demand is sustainable and as long as they're still getting those strong number of orders and as long as they're delivering somewhat eventually, not like years down the road, but like maybe months behind or something like that, I think that's going to be tolerable for the time being due to the situation that it is a worldwide problem. And as that clears up, I think that we're also going to see problems for NIO also clear up. I don't see them going much further south than where we are right now. And I said since middle of August, I think it was when I was talking about it, I wouldn't be surprised if NIO dropped down to the mid-30s. Hasn't quite gotten there yet. Maybe, let me see, back here it did like 36.44, so still somewhat high, somewhat mid-30s. I was actually talking about 35 when I said mid-30s, and we haven't quite seen that yet, so that's good news for bullish investors, unless you're looking for really cheap entry points, in which case then it's bad. But we also haven't seen that $30 low that we saw before at peak sell-off, so that's also a good thing. All right, I think it's time for me to wrap this thing up. Is it time for me to wrap this thing up? Most likely. Okay, yeah, I agree. So let me switch off my screen share here and I'll summarize for you. All right, so let me summarize. Lucid Motors, I think that when they hit production, I think that's going to be big news for the stock, and I think people are going to say, finally, I think we're going to finally see some purchasing in there going on with the stock, and I think it'll move the stock in positive ways. And also when we start hearing about deliveries actually being made, I think that's another positive catalyst. I don't think we're going to have to wait the 12 months to hit the $25 to $28 per share that we got from the two analyst estimates. I think that honestly, that's going to hit as soon as we see more about orders, production, and delivery. And as that news comes out, early 2022, possibly even very late in 2021, as whenever we find out that news is when that price action really happens. So from here, we could make an easy 25% up from where we currently sit. Let's just call it $20 per share. And then 25% of that, one quarter of that is $5, so $25 per share. And so, honestly, is it a swing trade for me? Like a slightly longer term swing trade where maybe I put it down, maybe let it go about 10% from where it's currently sitting, and then have it, so about $2 down for about $4 up. To me, I don't know. It might seem like a plan. These are my own thoughts, my own reflections on that. Should I make a swing play on Lucid? My sources say no. I don't know who his sources are. They must be in the Bears camp. I don't know. Moving on from there, XPEV I think is also going to do incredible, and we'll watch that symmetric wedge pattern play out for short-term investing for the swing trade position that I have on top of my long-term position that I also have. Really, if the swing doesn't play out, I also consider just holding on to my position. Yeah, it makes me a little bit overweight from where I'd like to be in my portfolio with XPEV. However, I'm still bullish on XPEV. I still really like them, and I'm really intrigued about that under $25,000 P5 automobile that they're going to start delivering in October. And then finally, NIO. NIO, I think, is a giant. I think that they're going to do really well over time, and I don't think that the $2 billion worth of shares is something that we have to worry about. They will need money from time to time. I'm sure they will take that money from time to time, and it's going to cause dips in the market. But I think overall, we're going to experience long-term success for NIO. So where do I see Lucid going? End of 2021. As long as we start to see strong production and orders, $25 per share, I don't think is too much, because I think there's so much excitement there. Even if it's way early for the price target to play out, I still think that the investors will be there to pick it up and push up that price. And then XPEV, seeing XPEV to, let me see where they're at right now, about 35, so maybe about 20% up from where they're at right now at about $38 per share, so $7.45. So like, maybe I'm gonna go conservatively on this one. I'm gonna say low to mid 40s, but really when we see the deliveries go out for the P5, we see the demand for it, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes us up mid to even high $40 per share on P5 on P5, my goodness, on XPEV. And then finally NIO end of year 2021. returning to that mid-40s range, I think that they're going to rotate very well through this shortage and that they're just going to start turning things around for deliveries for us. We just need to watch and see that happen. And, you know, I like all these companies, every one of them. That's exactly why I talk about them, and that's exactly why I invest in them. I'm not telling you to go out and buy them because I can't tell you to go out and buy them. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right, I'm going to let you go for now, and should the people check out the referral links for Moo and Weeble. Signs point to yes. Let me see. Should people join my Patreon? As I see it, yes. And let me see what else. Should people hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell? Yes, definitely. I don't know if I can show any of these on the camera. Nope, because I got to tip it. I got to have some other way of doing that. Hold on. I got this. See, this is the point in time that my wife would be rolling her eyes at me. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. She'd be rolling her eyes and being like, "What are you doing?" There we go. Can you see it? Can you read it? Let me back it up a little bit. And maybe about there it should be in focus. It says yes, definitely. Now I forgot the question. I think you should join my Patreon now. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for coming over. If you do like this, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe button. Also, if you want to see more of my videos and that notification bell to see when those videos come out, I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, and maybe I should keep around my Magic 8 Ball. It's actually been behind me on the shelf for a while now, but I figured, you know, why not bring it over and have a little bit of Friday fun. So thanks for rocking with me, guys. I'm Dr. Stock. Thank you for rocking with me. Now go get that money.